this is the life. Can you see those beautiful waves? This is Robertsport in Liberia. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Approximately 460 Liberian dollars, which is equivalent to 220 euros. That's all I have left for my 5 days visit to Liberia last year. Now the thing is, whilst traveling with public transport, you have to bear in mind that you might need some interchanges and it will take forever. So on this episode of Across All Borders Going West, let's talk about finding the shipwreck on Robertsport's beach. Oh my God, the journey between Freetown and Monrovia was a crazy one for me. It's approximately 550 kilometers and I couldn't find like a direct vehicle going. What I was told and what I did was that you had to go from Freetown to Bow, and then from Bow you would get a direct car going to Bow Waterside. Sometimes you might get one that crosses the border and goes even up to Monrovia, but that's not what I had. So what I did was, however, leave my accommodation, go there and try to get a vehicle. It took a while to load, so that when I got to Bow, it was about 3 in the afternoon. Now, I don't know if you know this, but in my experience, all the borders in West Africa relatively close around 7, all the ones I crossed, which meant I had the fortunate or unfortunate experience, however you want to look at it, to sleep at the Guinea-Malian border in a car. And I didn't want to repeat this. It was interesting, but it wasn't fun as much that I would say, oh, let's do it again. So when I got to Bow, I had to find a way to get from Bow to Bow Waterside ASAP. The only option I had was a motorbike. So I did the craziest thing I did, which was taking a motorbike between Bow and Bow Waterside. Honestly, all I wanted to do was get there in one piece and on time, so I did not make any footage, no picture, no nothing. And the guy knew I wanted to get there on time, so he was like, that's it. Oh my God, that road was windy. It was a windy experience. It was a bumpy experience, but I got to Bow Waterside on time enough to cross the border. So about 6:45, 7-ish, I had then crossed the border, and then the rest of my journey started because I still had another 2.5 hours to get to Monrovia. I got to Monrovia probably at 11 or even much later. And I stayed the first night at Miss Emily's place, so I literally didn't see anything from Monrovia. The next day I was staying in an Airbnb. Cool thing is my host picked me up. His apartment is amazing and I can totally recommend it. Hello from Monrovia. This is my Airbnb, the Palette Paradise. Is it possible to make all of your furniture from recycled stuff? Yes. In this apartment, everything is literally made from crates. The crates you get when you ship goods. So the bar, the middle table, the couch, and it's got Bogolan nicely spread on it on the wall as well. This is my room, and as you can see, my table is made out of the crate, my bed, as well as the cupboard. I really love this place, and why I like doing Airbnb around these areas is because you might not meet other tourists, and if you have a host who's in sync with you, it's almost like you're spending time with a friend. So if you are in Monrovia, I would recommend the Palette Paradise. It's my gadget for the day and my tea getting ready to explore Monrovia. He picked me up and then he had a long-term stay guest, so I explored a bit of Monrovia with her. But my focus was Robertsport, so I couldn't wait to hit the road and go to Robertsport. So if you're going from Monrovia to Robertsport, it's about 80 kilometers. And if you're not, well, I don't know if you're driving yourself, if you'd be faster, but it took me literally about 3 hours to get there. So you take a shared vehicle, and then they get to a junction. At this junction, you take a motor taxi, a motorbike as well. Oh my God, the bike ride down towards Robertsport, the town, was crazy. Let's talk about Robertsport. Robertsport is a town on the coast of the Atlantic in western Liberia. It has about roughly 4,000 people in its population, and they're mostly rice farmers and fishermen. And it is a beautiful, quiet town. I really loved walking through the town in the evening, one of the days I stayed there. But the waterfront, the beach, is absolutely to die for. So let's talk about finding the shipwreck on Robertsport's coastline and why it took me 2 attempts to find it. So join me on this episode. So I got to Robertsport around 1700 in the evening. In terms of accommodation, I only saw 1 or 2 places, and I took one of them. That was Nana's Lodge. But walking on the coastline, I saw Sea Monkeys, which is in a cottage owned by a Swiss guy. But it was about $150 or $120 for the night. So, of course, I decided not to stay there. And I did meet some Austrian guy, Sebastian, who was surfing on the beach, and we decided to have dinner there. That's where I met the Liberians that were lighting Chinese lanterns, and it was a very, very fun evening because I ended up finding the shipwreck, my second attempt with them. But first of all, we lit some Chinese lanterns and tried to make them fly on a very, very windy night on Robertsport. Look behind me. Is that an amazing scene, or is that an amazing scene? So this is Robertsport, 3 hours away from Monrovia. Surfing paradise in West Africa. It's beautiful. These trees that you see all around here are what we call in Nigeria fruit. I believe they might have another name, but you can eat actually the fruit from it, and that's the seed. I'm gonna try to show you another one when it's properly full. I've walked over from my accommodation, Nana's Lodge, and I'm walking down because someone told me there's a shipwreck somewhere. I'm hoping to find the shipwreck. You have to go across some rocks to get here. Let me show you. Some of them more together than separated like they are right now, so it's easier to walk here. The part before now was a lot of rocks, and I had to climb on top of it. I decided to stay one more night. Let's see. I'm going to walk around the city as well. I think I have to stop now. I don't think I will find a shipwreck, but that's all. After a while, I started to doubt if there was any shipwreck at all, because I had walked on stretches of the beach and it was beautiful, rocks changing between rocks, vegetation, just plain sand. But I didn't see anyone. I didn't see anyone apart from some lone fishermen on the water. And then I got to this huge rocks that I was like, I think the only way I can cross this bit is either by climbing over the rocks or swimming. And the waves were so strong, and since I was alone, I didn't want to find out what would happen if I twisted my ankle and no one would come for help. So I decided to go back, and was fortunate enough to run into my companions from the last night that were lighting the Chinese lanterns, and we decided to give it a second attempt to find the shipwreck on Robertsport's beach. This is no joke. So this morning, this is where I should have gone that I didn't go. This is all the way that we have to go. There's the lady to go see the shipwreck, and you literally have to climb those rocks. There's no shortcut. You might want to swim if you're a good swimmer, and then try to get up the shore at the other side. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna climb the rocks. We're gonna go to the shipwreck. So let's go. This is it, guys. We made it. We made it to the shipwreck. It wasn't a fake after all. So you better be into bouldering to get here. And look at those waves. Look at those crazy waves. And there's our tour guide. I think if she wasn't here, I probably would have turned back. Oh my God, guys, it's awesome. This is it. This is the life. Can you see those beautiful waves? This is Robertsport in Liberia. And there is this shipwreck which showed up here about 2 years ago. The different stories about the shipwreck. Some people say the crew wasn't paid, and since they weren't being paid, they, you know, sold off the stuff on the ship and then let it come up to shore. Some others say that it was just washed up ashore and there was no crew on it. But look at the amazing waves coming up here. It's like a 50 minutes hike to the shipwreck. And it's really, really beautiful. I'm gonna show you around. Those are my hiking companions. And oh my God, the sand is very hot, and I'm gonna try to show you around because you can get on board. Oh my God, it is hot. I'll take a picture of you guys in a second. So here you go. Is that wicked or is that wicked? Like, totally amazing. Love it. That's the shipwreck. 2 years standing here, and look at the waves crashing in. I'll show you a bit in a second. I went up on it. After exploring the shipwreck, we made our way back, and my companions headed off to Monrovia. They dropped me off in the town. It was beautiful exploring the town. I saw a lot of kids playing, but more interestingly, I found 2 girls playing checkers, and it was cool to watch them play. Afterwards, just walk around the town a bit and head back to Nana's lodge, where I could watch the beautiful sunset on Robertsport Beach. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you are ever thinking about surfing in West Africa, that you check out Robertsport Beach or Tapa Bay in Nigeria. Thank you very much for watching. Yours truly, Liesl81.